the aim is this. The yellows are attacking the other way. So as the ball plays out, if the yellows win the ball back in the highest point of the channels, of the thirds that we've got there, so the highest defending point, and they break and they score here, it's worth 5 goals, okay? Hello, I'm Stacey Miles. I'm an FA Regional Coach Development Officer. This is session 4 of a 6-week session programme. This session programme is aimed at players 7 to 11 years old with the theme of defending to stop goals with a focus on pressing and challenging. So we're on to week 4. We're going to be continuing our learning from week 3 with the same session objectives around supporting players within 3v3s. How can we best support them as a small team within a 3v3 to press and win the ball? We're going to encourage our players to try and be brave, try and develop their confidence and work within positions and opportunities which best pose themselves around when and how they might as a team win the ball, and then fingers crossed we're going to break to then score. So our job as coaches is going to be trying to support them with that. Hopefully we've picked up some top tips from week 3 that we're going to continue within the same session aim objectives into week 4. So our first activity of week 4, we're going to be continuing the game that we finished from week 3. So straight away we're going to get into a small-sided game like this. Now if you've had the chance to set up onto the pitch because you've been fortunate to have the opportunity and facilities to be able to do that, great. If not, because the players did it the week before, can we encourage them to work in small groups to set those little pitches up where you can? So as you can see here, we're going to work within a 3v3 practice. Now depending on numbers, you may have an overload and underload, so one team might have 2, one team might have 3, not a problem, because we want our players in England to be able to deal with those situations. So exactly the same game that we finished with last week at training, straight into our 3v3 game. So the aim is, with the halfway line as a really clear reference point for the players, can we as a team try and win the ball back in the opposition half to break to score? If we do that, it's worth 3 goals. If you win the ball back in your defensive third, so say the yellows are through, but the blues have just won it and then they break to score, it's worth just 1. So it's still worth a goal, but we're trying to, where we can, encourage our players to get up the pitch and try and win the ball back where we can near the opposition goal. So that's our game. Hopefully we've transferred the learning from week 3 into this week. And then this week we're going to add in a little extra activity. So what you need for extra for this game is either 1 dice or a couple of dices, and I'm going to explain why. So if, for example, the blues have tried to make a pass, but they've lost the ball, say the yellows have intercepted it or they've won it, if the blues can win the ball back within 5 seconds of losing the ball and then break to score, they not only get 3 points for that, but they also get the opportunity to roll the dice. So with the coach, you'll be there with the dice. They can roll the dice, and then depending on what number comes out, they can choose to hold for the 3 points, or they can choose to bank or get their, say they rolled 5 on the dice, their goal's worth 5 instead of 3. But obviously if it comes 3 or below, it's their choice to either keep the 3 or below. So it's an opportunity to really try and emphasise where we can a little bit of counter pressing. So if we lost the ball, can we immediately try and apply pressure where we can? So yeah, lots of opportunities there, but yeah, that links straight from small-sided games, but the way you can adapt practices can be great within there. So we're going to move on to our second practice following our small-sided games. So our theme of this practice is still trying to win the ball back as soon as possible. And we're going to do that both individually and as a team. So as you can see it from the layout here, we're going to continue with our reference point like a halfway line. I've utilised where possible, goalkeeper at each end. And as you can see, they've got football. So that'll be where the game always starts from. Now, they're also involved within the practice, and I'm going to show you how it links. So it's kind of like a little bit around playing out, but then also under pressure. So playing out from the goalkeeper where possible. So as you can see, you've got a halfway line, and you need to, I'm going to be working with the yellows just to demonstrate. So At all times, you need at least one of your teammates in the opposition half, and I'm going to explain why. So, for example, the ball's going to be played from the goalkeeper out to the yellows. Now, the yellows, their role is to be working together with the goalkeeper as well. So the goalkeeper's involved, but they can't be pressed because everyone has to stay inside the area. So they're locked into there. The amount of seconds they can keep the ball for as a team without losing the ball equals that amount of goals. So the reward is, can you keep the ball under pressure and look after it? So they might be able to keep the ball, say, for 6 seconds. And whilst this is happening, the Blues are trying to go and press and win that ball. So remember I said one player has to stay in. There needs to be at least one player from your team in each half. So then they might decide, if they want to send an extra player into that zone. If they win the ball, they get 1 point for their team. But then they've got to transfer the ball, if they can, into their half. So they can transfer it by passing, or they can dribble and drive. As soon as that happens, the Blues then have to transfer across to here. But remember, they need to keep at least one in that half. That's for the transition of winning the ball back. And then the Yellows' role is then to come in where they can to apply pressure to win that ball back. Now, remember, there should hopefully be, just for a little bit of success for those in possession at times, there should be an opportunity where they can utilise the goalkeeper. So it becomes a little bit like maximum 4v3. They don't have to use the goalkeeper if they don't want to. The goalkeeper can move up and down, similar to what they would do with their box. But they were also looking at trying to keep the ball. So we're going to be working with the team without the ball. How can we apply pressure to the person with the ball and then also show them where we want to kind of win the ball from? So setting little traps as a team of like no more than 3 to try and win that ball back. So it links from our first practice, where we've tried to win the ball back within a certain amount of seconds from losing the ball. So a little bit linked to counter pressing. Okay, we're going to progress our session on now. So we're going to be looking within a small-sided game, but we're going to be looking at no more than a 5v5 format where possible. You can see the setup here. We've got 2 goals. The pitch, instead of halves this time, we've split the pitch into thirds as reference points. I'm going to explain why now. So the ball starts with the goalkeeper here. Blues are attacking this way. So Blues are attacking this way. And the aim for the Blues is, where possible, trying to break to score a normal goal for 1 goal. So it's just a normal game. Goalkeeper, outfield 4 players. They can choose their system of how you set up for that. The aim is this. The Yellows are attacking the other way. So as the ball plays out, if the Yellows win the ball back in the highest point of the channels, of the thirds that we've got there, so the highest defending point, and they break and they score here, it's worth 5 goals, okay? However, if the Blues manage to get past that press, so no one's locked in anywhere, everyone can go anywhere they want, it's a normal game. But if, for example, the Yellows win the ball back in the middle third instead and break to score, their goal is worth 3 goals. And really similar, if the ball gets played all the way through to your defensive third, so we're working with the Yellows at the moment, they've all got back to try and help defend, hopefully. If they win the ball back in their defensive third and break to score, so they might pass it forward or dribble and drive and score, it's just worth 1 goal. The reason for the point system here is we're trying to, where we can, encourage our team to win the ball back where possible, high up on the pitch. So more goals emphasised for winning the ball back near the opposition goal. So we're going to progress our session on now. So looking at how we progress within a 5v5 practice at pressing to win the ball. Hopefully the design of this practice will give us a real variety of how players deal with when the game's a little bit more messy. So when there might be 2v2s in different parts of the pitch, or overloads and underloads. So as you can see, we've got the setup here. We've got the 3 channels and we've got 6 balls. So 1 ball assigned each side. So 1 and 1 here of each channel. Now the game is this, rock, paper, scissors to start, as players always love. The Blues will start, say they've won rock, paper, scissors, they're going to start with ball number 1. Now they're not numbered, or you could choose to number them, it's completely up to you. I'm not going to, because I would like the players to have ownership on what ball comes next. So they start with, say they've picked this ball, they can choose to pass or dribble in. Their aim is then as a team to obviously try and score a goal. The Yellow's aim is to obviously win the ball back to break the score as well. As soon as the ball's gone off the pitch, so say for example, the ball's a misplaced pass and it's gone off the pitch, that ball now is no longer involved. So then the Blues have to choose quickly amongst themselves, which gives lots of ownership and decision making, lots of communication. So this is where we can really encourage them to use like players' names. Like for example, this player here might shout, right, I'm going to take this ball in, and then straight away now they're attacking with ball number 2 that they've chosen to go with. As they're attacking with this, as you can see, the game's now a little bit more opened up, and then all of a sudden now, how are the Yellows going to try to defend with press into them? So the closest person trying to apply immediate pressure to the ball where possible. What does the cover and balance then look like as a team? So once that ball's gone off the pitch, so whether it's gone in the goal or missed, they've now got, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4 chances to score. So once all 4 chances have taken place, depending on what the score is, so the Yellows might have defended really well and won the ball back, because we've done loads on that hopefully leading up to this point, and broke the score. Then, as you can imagine, the balls get reset in. So 6 footballs, and I'm sure you're guessing this already, it's now the Yellows' turn to take that opportunity. So Yellows will pick whichever ball they want to start with, and it's their opportunity to now break the score. So really clear around the defending principles here is how they can be nice and compact, but then also on transition, when they play in from a different area, can we apply immediate pressure where we can to the ball to prevent obviously a goal scoring opportunity. Thanks for watching, and for more session ideas and games, please visit our England Football Learning website, and please subscribe to our England Football Learning YouTube channel.